Are you ready to make incredible pancakes without baking powder? These are epic. They're easy to make. They're a little different than your traditional pancakes, so let's make them together. All right, guys, so the first thing I'm gonna do is take these eggs, which are at room temperature, and I'm gonna separate the egg white from the yolk. You also wanna make sure that no egg yolk goes into the egg white bowl, because any egg yolk in the egg whites will prevent the whites from forming stiff peaks. Now, because we're not using baking powder in the recipe, we're gonna be using the egg whites as the substitute instead to give these pancakes a nice fluffy texture. Since we're gonna whip these up, let's add a little bit of sugar to the egg whites. This sugar makes these pancakes a little sweeter, also delicious, and taste less eggy. And now with our hand mixer, we're just going to start on low speed and then high speed for about 3 to 5 minutes. Oh, and by the way, you can also use a regular stand mixer if that's what you have. If you see your egg whites like this, they're a little runny, don't stop. Keep going. You've got about 1.5 minutes to go. You want your egg whites to look like this, where if you lift them with a spoon, they can stay upside down. And these egg whites are ready. Let's put them on the side and get the rest of our batter going. So I have a large bowl right here in which I'm going to add my flour and a little bit of salt. Let's mix them around. Let's add our egg yolks, the milk, the melted butter, and vanilla. With a fork, I'm just going to first whisk my egg yolks into the milk and then start mixing it into the batter. You wanna mix this batter just enough until there are no clumps. And now we're going to fold in very gently our egg whites into our batter. We do this in stages, so you don't wanna dump the whole bowl, you wanna dump maybe 1/3 in. And as you can see, they're pretty solid. And with your spatula, fold them into the batter gently until they're incorporated. Do the rest, another 1/3 in. You just want to gently fold them in. Whenever I'm mixing pancake batter, I always like to start from the outside of the bowl in, especially when you're dealing with a delicate batter like this one with the egg whites. You don't want to make it too liquidy because we want them to hold their shape. So take a look up close what your batter should look like. It's nice and light and airy. It's gonna give our pancakes a really great texture. I have my griddle preheating to medium-high heat. You can also make these in a pan, no problem. I do love making pancakes in big batches because we love them. Now that my griddle is nice and hot, I'm going to take a little bit of butter and grease it. You could also use oil. And immediately I'm going to pour about 1/4 cup of pancake batter right onto the griddle. These don't really spread, they pretty much cook in place. So you know it's time to flip these when the edges of your pancakes are well defined and they lift easily. Now these are a bit more delicate when you flip them than traditional pancakes, but once you flip them, they should cook for about 1 minute on the other side and they're good to go. When you lift these off the griddle, you should feel that the middles are nicely fluffy. That means they're cooked through. All right, guys, I've got a stack right here. Let's put some syrup right over the top. Check them out. Fluffy, airy, so delicious, no pancake powder, and a really simple recipe. Grab it, the ingredients, measurements right below, and hit that red subscribe button. You and I get to make awesome recipes every single week. See you next time.